Hey, what's up guys? It's Kevin here with Phandroid.com, and today we're taking a look at the Samsung Galaxy S4. This is the brand new flagship, the follow-up to last year's Galaxy S3. It's coming to all the major US carriers later this month, and it's going to be available globally as well. So the first thing you'll really notice about this device is the design hasn't changed much since the S3, but Samsung has managed to make it both thinner, lighter, and smaller in pretty much every dimension. But the amazing thing is they've crammed in a larger display, a 5-inch 1080p Super AMOLED display. That's the first 1080p Full HD Super AMOLED display, and it looks absolutely gorgeous. To increase screen size while keeping overall device size down, Samsung has gone with a virtually bezel-less design. You get almost an edge-to-edge display here. Above the screen you'll find the earpiece, notification light, and an array of sensors, as well as a 2-megapixel front-facing camera. Below the display is Samsung's physical home button, as well as a back and setting soft key. On the bottom of the device is the phone's micro USB port. To the right of the display is a power on-off standby button that sits pretty flush with the casing. The top has your standard 3.5mm headset jack, as well as a new addition for the Galaxy S4, an infrared blaster. The left side of the phone features a volume rocker, which, just like the power on-off standby switch, sits a little bit more flush with the casing, so it helps to keep it nice and smooth on the side of the phone. Around back we find Samsung's 13-megapixel camera, as well as an LED flash, and then at the bottom we find the phone's speaker. If there's one major complaint about the Galaxy S4, it's that Samsung has chosen to stick once again with plastic as the main build material for the phone, which kind of gives it a cheaper feel than what it really is. This is a very premium device, but the overall feel of it comes off as something a little less premium. You can, however, still remove the back cover and gain access to a 2600 milliamp hour battery, as well as micro SD expandability, and of course your slot for your SIM card. Internally, the Galaxy S4 features either a octa-core Exynos 5 Octa processor, that's Samsung's proprietary processor, or a Qualcomm Snapdragon 600 quad-core processor. The US model gets that quad-core Snapdragon processor. It's clocked at 1.9 gigahertz. You also get 2 gigabytes of RAM, and the phone comes in various storage options from 16 gigabytes up to 64 gigabytes. Samsung has done a great job improving the hardware of the Galaxy S4 over the Galaxy S3, but ultimately the upgrades do feel a little bit iterative. You get some nice touches like the new display, a more powerful processor, etc. But the real advantage of the Galaxy S4 lies in the improvements that have been made to TouchWiz. As you can see, the standard interface remains basically the same as what we can expect from other devices like the Galaxy Note series and other Galaxy S models, but it's just some of the small enhancements that Samsung has added that really bring a lot of value to the Galaxy S4. A great place to start is the Samsung notification shade. Standard pull down, you get your Android notifications as well as some toggles. You can adjust the brightness here, which is great because the Super AMOLED display is actually one of the brightest I've ever seen. It actually kind of takes me aback a little bit, almost blinds me sometimes when I power the phone on. So it's really nice to be able to adjust that really quickly. And you also get your quick toggles along the top here. But something that Samsung has added is the ability to just hit this button here, and we get an expanded look at all of the different features we can turn on and off. And this includes some great Samsung exclusive TouchWiz features. We've got older existing features like multi-window, S-Beam, NFC, etc. But we've got a few new ones that are pretty cool, and that's what we're going to focus on. These include AirView, Air Gesture, Smart Scroll, and a few others. So we'll dive into that right now. So with the Samsung Galaxy Note, Samsung introduced a feature called AirView, and you needed to use the S Pen to hover above certain elements in the user interface to expose content without actually having to jump to a new window or a new menu. One of the apps that used this was Flipboard, so we're going to use that to demonstrate the new AirView functionality that has been built into the Samsung Galaxy S4. And the cool thing is you don't even need an S Pen. It now works just with your finger. Take your finger, hover it over a square in Flipboard, and you can see information pops right up. Bam. Pretty cool. So you don't even have to leave your news screen to see these different things. So I'm in Flipboard, see something I want to read, I can pop it right open there. That's a great use of AirView. Really cool feature, no need for the S Pen, and a whole new way of sort of interacting with your phone. Another cool way Samsung is working with touch-free control in the Galaxy S4 is through a feature called Air Gesture, which uses a dedicated sensor right up here by the Samsung logo, and you can just use hand movements to control things such as the browser, I can scroll through pages just by waving over the page, and you can also use this feature in the gallery to scroll back and forth between your various photos that you've taken. Other places you can use air gesture include answering phone calls. So if you're driving and you need a hands-free, you can just swipe over the device to answer the phone. You can also use it if your phone is laying on the table and you just want a quick view at your notifications. You can swipe over and it'll give you a display of what has been going on in your phone. Taking touch controls a step further, there's a new feature called Smart Scroll, and this kind of expands from where we were with Smart Stay on the Galaxy S3, which allowed the screen to turn on and off depending on whether you were looking at it. Now we can use the same sort of eye tracking, head tracking movements with the front-facing camera to navigate web pages and do some other neat things. So let's see if we can get it to work here. You see we're detected, the eyes, and now simply scrolling up and down the page, hands-free, off camera here, using my eye tracking and my head to kind of scroll throughout the page. There's also a feature with this called Smart Pause that will detect if you're looking at the screen while watching a video, and when you look away, say if someone calls your attention away, you look away from the phone, bam, the phone pauses it for you right there. Don't have to do anything. Look back at the screen and the video will once again resume playing. So those are some of the neat things that Samsung is doing with touch-free controls in the Galaxy S4, and we think that they really add a lot of value to the phone, and they very well could end up on the Galaxy S3 and older Note models through value pack updates, but for now they're exclusive to the S4 and they're pretty cool. In terms of new experiences that take advantage of the Galaxy S4's new hardware as well as some interesting software, there's no better example than Samsung Watch On. We've seen this on the Galaxy Note tabs and other Samsung tablets that feature that infrared sensor, or infrared blaster rather, but the Galaxy S4 is the first handset to feature this, and we'll just take a quick tour. Basically, it turns your phone into a smart remote, or it turns any TV into a smart TV, basically through the extension of the Watch On application. It gives you recommendations based on what you've watched before, tells you what's playing now, and you can search for things. Just go to a standard TV guide mode if you need to see what is playing now. But also pretty cool is the ability to, if a video isn't playing, we can load up Samsung's video on demand service here, which will allow you to rent and purchase videos, and you can also sign into Netflix through here, so you can get kind of a greater expanded view of video. So if something you want to watch isn't on TV, you have some options for finding it elsewhere. But it also acts as a universal remote. Very easy to set up and pair with your TV. You can control volume, channel, etc., TV, DVR. Now it says DVR, but the one drawback to Watch On and this remote is you can't actually set your DVR to record shows in advance, which is kind of a bummer, kind of a drawback, but you can enable recording of live TV once it's playing. So this Watch On app, it's a first for the Galaxy S4. In previous releases, Watch On has been separate from the third-party Peel app, but in this edition you can actually see that they've built Peel directly in, so it's Watch On powered by Peel. Exclusive to the Galaxy S4 right now, but a very good possibility that we'll see it on other Samsung handsets in the future. Finally, one last thing for those that might not be familiar with smartphones, or this might be their first smartphone, older folks or people moving on from feature phone, Samsung has greatly improved the easy mode that they've introduced in past versions of TouchWiz. So now you can very easily switch between standard and easy mode, and easy mode actually takes on the form of its own launcher that very easily emulates kind of the look of your feature phone. We've got some basic widgets, direct links to the most commonly used applications. There's a panel for adding some more applications or getting to an expanded applications list. And then also a very easy way to add your favorite contacts and make calls. So it's very basic, very straightforward, designed to get people into the smartphone experience and transition directly into the more full-featured version of the Galaxy S4. And once again, you just tap your home screen mode to very quickly get right back into the full-fledged Android 4.2.2 launcher with TouchWiz on top. But that's a very quick, brief look at some of the great new features in Samsung Galaxy S4's TouchWiz implementation. That's what really makes this phone. The hardware is great, powerful, has no problem running it. It provides a seamless experience, a direct window, so it's all about the user and the user experience and how you use this device. And some of those new hands-free features have just brought a big new way to to interact with your phone and make it more intuitive, more human, which I think is Samsung's ultimate goal. So, very impressed with the Galaxy S4. A few minor things here and there, but overall this is probably one of the best on the market right now. Definitely the best Galaxy phone we've seen yet, and it takes it all to a whole nother level. It's going to be tough to top this one with the Galaxy S5 or even the Galaxy Note 3 coming out soon. So if you're into the Galaxy S3, I would say it's not a huge upgrade over the S3 to the point where you'd want to run out and buy it. But if you haven't got a new phone in a while, or you aren't on the old Galaxy phone, this is definitely worth consideration if you want pretty much what's one of the best Android phones on the market today. So I'm Kevin with Phandroid.com, and that's our review of the Galaxy S4. Thank you for watching.